Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Hal Sparks Mornings Mega Worldwide and slash Drag Queen Story Hour. Before we get raided by some psycho with a Molotov cocktail, I'd like to remind everybody to like and subscribe. And don't forget to give a thumbs up on your way out the door because you're obviously panicking right now. Okay, awesome. Now on with the morning show. I've got to find the buttons. I don't know how to run this. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Yeah, it was Drag Friday. Why not? Imagine Hal was doing push-ups while waiting for the countdown. You're not 100% wrong. I have weights in the other room, and when I start the show, I go in the morning and I do my morning pump. You know, this is the thing when I'm doing the pump. And it's very important to do in the mornings, you know, to getting the blood flowing and this, you know, so you get the muscle and you're shocking the muscle along with the monkey. You know, you must shock the monkey. Hey, hey. Cover me when I run to the chopper. Anyways, I'm like weird Peter Gabriel Schwarzenegger crossover this morning. That's just how it goes. Sometimes when you're talking about, when you're doing pop culture references, you accidentally cross the streams. And then you know, obviously pee on each other's shoes. What stream did you think I was talking about? Shocking the monkey is not good? I don't know. I think the jury's still out on shocking the monkey. I think it's a growth industry, quite frankly. Hey, hey, shock the monkey. Hi, everybody. Pump the monkey. This is what we do. That's right. That's right. Thank you, chat room, with this type of thing, and you know. Why is my... I have far too much headroom in this shot, and it's bothering me. Got to Chuck. There we go. That's better. I saved the planet, and then anyways, I saved the planet, and I thought a coffee would be nice. Please tell me people know what that reference is from. Anybody know? I've done it a couple of times because every time that's all I can think of whenever I change my frame on the show. Anybody know? Anybody? I'm just waiting to see. Somebody's going to know it. Nope, not Max Headroom. Close. Super Friends is very close. Wrong, but close. Robin Williams. It does. Apache Chief. Thank you. Tony Brizuela gets it right. Absolutely. It's Apache Chief from Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. They made a joke episode. It's one of the best episode where Apache Chief goes for a coffee after saving the planet, and he spills it on his lap, and he can no longer enlarge. Ouch. Let's all go to the mountain. It's one of my favorites. It's so goddamn funny. But his word he says when he grows gigantic is Inukchuk. And he goes, hey, Inukchuk. It's so stupid because there's an asteroid headed towards Earth, and he just grows really big, and he hits it with a giant redwood tree like a baseball and knocks it out of the atmosphere. And then it flies through the universe and strikes a planet that's just about to make contact with the rest of the universe. It's so good. Anyways, hi. It's the Friday morning show. Glad to be here. Lots to talk about. It's been a fiery morning on the Twitter machine. And the elections are happening as we speak. Have you voted? Are you early voting? Did you early vote? I know a lot of people have already told me already, but we're just going to keep people moving. Do it. Because the red wave is horseshit, and the whole, I don't know, the whole economy thing, I don't know about it's just, the Democrats, they've been in charge for 2 years, and they can't fix the hole that COVID blew in the fucking economy yet. I mean, what are you, do you even government, bro? I said this, I finally tweeted it because I'd had a fucking enough, but I will restate this till it seems to, I'm going to keep drilling till I strike oil in deference to the current economic strata that we're living in. The COVID pandemic, in the first year of the COVID pandemic, it blew a $20 trillion hole in the American economy, destroyed businesses, cut down on revenues, put people in hock and in debt. $20 trillion. $20 trillion. That's not even including people who put their education on hold, and therefore their business plans might be put off another 5 years and all that kind of shit. Like, it's a ton of shit. Yeah, I'm going to show the jobs report. $20 trillion removed from the U.S. economy because of COVID. And the U.S. government, with combinations of PPP loans and unemployment insurance and all that stuff, pumped about $6 trillion into the economy. Now, in what fucking universe do you have a $20 trillion hole that you fill with $6 trillion and it's overflowing? Where there's too much money in circulation, too many dollars. Also, if that were the case, would the dollar be strong? Am I talking about that fake virus? Yeah. No. It's more real than we might even think, kids. Oh, yeah. So even than we're aware of. So all these, like, they turned all the money printers, jackoffs, who are talking about the current state of the economy. And this includes some of the people apparently around, Jerome Powell, even though I think largely what they're trying to do is a psychological trick to get consumers to stop spending money, and it's not working. Wait till they see what happens at Christmas. Everybody's like, he's going to pivot. He's not going to raise interest rates another 75 basis points in December. It's going to be 50 basis points. You watch. It's already baked in. Bullshit. Because it's going to be a great Black Friday and a big Christmas. Sorry. I'm just telling you. Yeah. So, anyways, back to our story. You can't plug a $20 trillion hole with $6 trillion, and you certainly don't have too many dollars left over after you've tried to plug a $20 trillion hole with $6 trillion. So everybody who went, they turned money printer, go burr, assholes, go fuck yourselves. I am so tired of this idiotic argument. Again, especially considering most of them are using, when we saw similar numbers like this in 2008, or we saw similar numbers like this in 1982, we saw similar numbers like this with the stock market dip in 87 or 93, none of which were preceded by a pandemic. Can I just stop it? Just fucking stop it. Okay? That's like saying, Jim, you've been coming in for migraines for a while now, and I just don't think you're listening to me and following my medical directions. And the patient says, Doc, I've been shot in the head. Well, I've been treating you for headaches for quite a while, and I think I know what's best for you, Jim. We started off with mild Excedrin. I just can't up the painkillers, and I just think surgery is out of the question right now. I don't want to, because we don't want to add skull to the skull you already have. I have a hole in my skull. Please stop the bleeding and patch the hole in my skull. I have been shot in the head. Your previous headaches, you were very upset the last time you complained about a headache. The last time I complained about a headache, I hadn't been shot in the head. Do you see where I'm going with this? The fucking nerve of these idiots. By the way, it's why people like Jim Cramer are crying on television going, I don't know why I told you to back Facebook. It seemed like a good bet. It was a good bet. If you take the entirety of COVID out of the fucking picture, holy hell. I think it's a solid analogy, I gotta say, right? These assholes are treating a headache when there's really a head wound. Yes, there is a blue wave on the way. Yes, the early voting turnout and the voting on the day will also be there'll be relative parity in that. The idea is that, like, well, I don't know, the Republicans are all going to show up. They're going to show up on voting day, and then that's going to seem like a red mirage, and a lot of those assholes aren't showing up. Trump is doing his best. He showed up. Last night, he actually stuck to the script and said, you got to send a red wave. You got to vote or whatever. Too little, too late, dum-dum. People are lazy, especially if you told them that their vote's not going to count anyways. It's there's a chance that, like, some like Kerry Lake or somebody like that might break through and they'll take it as a big win, but the rest of it's bullshit. And also, you know what effect Kerry Lake is going to have on your life if you don't live in New Mexico? Guess. Fucking nothing. None. No effect. Remember Kristi Noem? So fucking what? If she was a senator, you'd have more cause for concern. Not an issue. What other Republican nudniks run other states you don't live in? Get out of here. Lake effect nonsense. True. Don't let Lake when I live in Arizona. Sleep will be hell. She has a sister. Oh, sorry, Arizona. Beg your pardon. I'm thinking of Mastriano or whatever his name is. I'm getting them all mixed up at this point because they're all losers. But the important thing, sorry, yeah, actually has a scientist running. That's right. Kerry Lake in Arizona. If you don't live in Arizona, it won't matter. And by the way, to that point, Kerry Lake, right now, the Biden administration has their policies specifically have caused the opening of 3 new chip factories, maybe 4, depending on, now versus the next year or the year and a half ahead of us. That the Biden administration is literally responsible for getting the backup funding for those things to start so you can build the highest quality chips in Arizona, which, by the way, is one of the reasons why Las Vegas's Lake Mead is half of where it is. Is global warming a factor? Absolutely. Probably about 8%. But the 50% drop that we saw over the last little bit is the large number of people moving to and building houses in Arizona, which is south of us and takes that water. So anyways, but she's going to have to sort of, it's already fait accompli. So she might pretend that like Arizona is great and we're great on our own and never acknowledge the fact that these factories are being built because Joe Biden gave a shit and Trump didn't. But at some point, they're going to need ongoing funding for some of these, and she's going to have a hell of a time not appreciating the White House, or at least to get some Senate love. So, not worried. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to worry. Not happening. So, yeah. Oh, hi, Richard. I hope you're having a good time in Australia. It's a great place. I've never been, but I've heard great things. And I noticed the other day, I mentioned, if you heard, that there was you're talking about cryptocurrency and how much energy they use, because Russell Brand was making fun of the fact that you use a lot of energy to do crypto because it's all this data mining, right? And turns out cryptocurrency mining uses more energy than the entire country of Australia. That's right. Dudes in Australia are really hot, to be honest. Oh, well, all right. Yeah, so I think that's a good indication. One is, I appreciate the Australians are doing their best. They're going to have big solar farms and all that kind of stuff. I think they could do a lot with tidal energy eventually, like the Scots have done. So, no worries, mate. Yeah. No problem, Queen 98. Just vote. Make sure you vote. Tell everybody you know to vote. You're going to be fine. Like, I swear to God, the world's been ending my whole fucking life. It's not going anywhere. Will I be doing an election night 24-hour? I need you to hold my hand again. I probably will end up having to do it, won't I? I'm going to start my show and then just stay on. They're not going to start counting. It's going to be the same shit again, though, but like exaggerated. Certain states, they're going to wait to count the mail-in votes till the day after, and everybody's going to be bitching, and it's going to be called for the Democrat like on Friday. Thanks, Janelle. I try. Oh, Tom Barack was acquitted? All right. Yeah. Stop sucking up on coffee. I already have my coffee. I'm drinking bulletproof coffee this morning. That's right. Coffee with butter in it. That's right. The way I make it, I have 2 tablespoons. Actually, it's a tablespoon and a half, but I eyeball it of MCT oil, and then 2 tablespoons of ghee of butter. Put my coffee in a bullet blender. Speed blend it so it's all whipped and frothy. And outstanding Polish accent. Thanks very much. And that's it. And then I drink it that way. No sugar, no nothing, just that. Does it really deflect bullets? No, it is a bullet. Goes through you like a bullet, if you know what I mean. I forget who had it. There's somebody online or whatever who kept posting a picture of themselves with their mug that said, "Coffee makes me poop." Yeah, MCT oil. Yeah. Coconut oil, you know. It's kind of like keto coffee. Yeah. But it's sort of pre-keto. It's Predo coffee. It's a diuretic. Anyway. No, I'm not doing keto. But I find it's good to keep your insulin from spiking and keeps me, slim and trim. Here, hold on one second. Mm-hmm. Is this working? Hold on. I'm working on my taper. All right. So there you go. I want a caramel frap. No. Coffee is for gods. Hi, Teresa. Honey in your coffee is not bad. You know who drank honey in their coffee? Sylvester Stallone, while he was doing Rambo. Yeah, doing Rambo 3 in particular, where he was like super cut. So, yo, cut up, man. You look like a julienne salad, man. I'm trying to bring it up a little, but it's tough. You got any tips? Any tips you got? He was drinking black coffee with a tablespoon of honey in it. Coffee drunk at the wrong time causes Stephanie Miller to poop trailside. Oh my God. Who's Steph Heads? Who comes over from Steph's show? There's a little marketing research on my own, if I may. Who goes, let's see, I'm going to tilt this back up because camera's too high again. There we go. Whoops. Now it's too much. Relax. It takes a moment, then it delays. Like shrinking all over the place. Enoch Chuck. But not quite. That's better. Okay. It's a new camera, so I'm trying to learn how to control it. Steph, you do? Oh, wait. Excellent. Hey, Steph Eds, welcome. Got on air once. Nice. Am I pooping? Yes, I am while I'm doing it. Absolutely. It's that good. Yes. Bulletproof coffee. You can't go wrong. Right on. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad that people know to come here after the show. So those of you that do come here, spread the word. I'm on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm not on every day of the week yet. But like I said, I need 2 days to just like regroup. I only have 1 day off technically, and that's Sunday. So I need a couple of days to like work out early, get my reading in. Yeah. That kind of stuff. I'm not having a cup of Jews for Donald. Is there a Jewish coffee I'm not privy to that would be lovely? I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure it's fantastic. Boy, did that Kylie Irving apology, like he must have gone to the Will Smith school of apologies. Fucking hell. What? Yeah, okay, we'll get to the trends, Jay. That's a good point. Let's move on. Moving on, let's get to the trends. Okay, first of all, voting. Voting is the number one thing. Voters look ahead to the upcoming 2022 midterm elections. Yes, they do, because they can't look back because it hasn't happened yet. I don't know when that picture was taken or if at all this year or at any time, or if it's even people signing up or if it's just at a DMV or a passport office. There's a vote sign in the front, but these lovely folks are waiting in line. And I would like to say for the record that this 63% of Americans trend that they're talking about is talking about how, I don't know, like stimulus checks, Yeah, 63% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, including nearly half of six-figure earners. Again, this goes to why the debt forgiveness that the Biden administration was doing with people up to $125,000 and households of 250, where it's a married couple. That's because those folks usually, not only, if you're a higher earner, you're also more than likely living in a higher cost area as well. So even though you have more money, it doesn't go quite as far because rents are fucking high. And there are two things we need to bottom the fuck out of. And once I am president, this is what we're going to do. We're going to overbuild, not to Chinese ghost city level, but we're going to, let some building happen. As long as it's, in code and the buildings will last, you're good. And then we're going to overproduce oil and gas until we reach a critical mass of renewables. And we're going to do thorium reactors, which will make that happen faster. Just saying. So there you go. Anyways, this was this whole thing, live paycheck to paycheck. And then this is and again, when you're talking about 63% of Americans, 50% of Americans, we've talked about this a bit, are that group that own less than, 5% of the country, that idea. And largely that includes like young people just starting out. It's a huge age factor, yada, yada. And so there's another 13% above them that are fresh out of school, have a fairly good job, but are struggling because they're trying to keep up with their peers who have been on the job for 3 to 5 years already. And so that's why they live paycheck to paycheck, because to get a better job or to elevate up into their company, they live closer to work, or they live in a better place, or they're paying more for internet because they need to Zoom to work. That's another big factor. Yeah. Shame that in the 80s, America began a fad with everything Aussie, including Hogan. Aussie sadly believed that infatuation would be a lasting thing. They didn't know U.S. attention span, poor Hogan, etc. I mean, he did 3 movies. And ask, I guess, any other European country besides like Merchant Ivory films from the UK, how long that infatuation lasts. Directors do way better. The actors and performers, not so much. I mean, I guess you got Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, maybe from China, Michelle Yeoh, Maggie Cheung, and Anita Mui would be the big stars that came out of there. Much bigger country, but only 7 really that you'd speak of. Oh, and Chow Yun-fat. So I would love to see Hal and Lily Tomlin work together. Well, you missed it because we did. We did Sexy Liberal together. I broke into a building for Lily Tomlin, and the statute of limitations is over. So fuck you. I'm not going to jail for that. I broke into the Chicago theater. Oh, see, it moves my frame again, and then you can. I gotta fix this. There we go. Yeah, Lily's amazing. I love her, and she's super talented and fun. And there you go. All right. Now, back to where we were. So 63% live paycheck to paycheck. And then there's this other idea that 63% want stimulus checks again or something like that. And people are like, wait, printed money, blah, blah, which I've already poked a hole in. Don't understand what to get. Okay, so yeah, 63% of Americans support the idea of new stimulus checks to combat inflation, according to a Newsweek poll. And then this one, Citizens Free Press says 63% of Americans don't understand what got us in the inflation mess in the first place. Okay, what got us into the inflation mess in the first place was, A, the Trump tax cuts, which set this up a couple of years ago. But then on top of that, I got news for you. The rest of it ain't inflation. It's supply shock. It's the PMI. It's the fact that it's hard to get shit, and shit's going to get more expensive because it's not going to be made for cheap in China anymore. And people are having to move factories, and that's going to take time. And people are willing to pay more for stuff to get it sooner if there's only a few of it left. There's basically like a raid on everything on Alibaba right now to just buy it before the barn door closes. And the corporate profits part is a minor part as well. They paid almost no dividends during the first year and a half of COVID, and now they're trying to make up for it by paying dividends in the after that, so that the big not just hedge funds, but like the what am I trying to say? I'm blitzing on the word now. But anyways, the big funds that were like the retirement funds that come from all these big unions and the like that slather their stuff across a lot of industries, and they only have one person watching there, which is which ones pay the biggest dividends, and make sure we have like 20% growth, 80% dividend stocks, and that's how we keep the thing solvent. And that's what they count on. The minute somebody stops paying dividends for a certain amount of time, the computers literally tank it. Not the 401ks, literally, and it's not the mutual funds. It's these big investment funds from unions and corporations. Yeah, pension funds. Thank you. Those are the big ones. And so, and a lot of that is automated now. So if you don't pay a dividend or the dividend doesn't see a spike, those things just automatically yank their shit. Okay? And so they're dumping dividends in this thing. They're not, before it was stock buybacks. Remember, that was one of the big problems. Now it's less stock buybacks and it's dividends. Well, where do the dividends go? Do they go to millionaires and billionaires? Sure. But is that the majority of where the dividends go? No. Especially these days, retail investors are playing a much bigger part in the economy than ever before. And that's partly why Powell and all these fuckers are confused. I mean, look at their reaction to like GameStop stock, all the meme stocks. And they're like, how the fuck is this even possible? It's because no one, I mean, this is a brand new aspect of the monetary world. The E-Trade, once it started, was the harbinger of this. But between Robinhood and all these like app trading things where you can buy stocks, you've got an army of retail investors now making up far more than the big like mutual funds, short of like BlackRock and the gigantic ones in Goldman Sachs, but like bigger than your Scottrade crowd, whoever their client base is, far bigger, especially dollar wise, than that crowd, every day buying the dip. Yes, the institutional investors are, honest to God, are like, am I shrinking and growing? Look at that. Oh, am I moving in? Move in. Move in. Does this thing move up? It's trying to center me. This thing, am I shrinking and growing? It's very exciting. I'm trying to add some dynamism to this whole thing. Let's see. Plus. Okay. Position 1. Keep it there. Lock in. Image settings. Auto exposure, auto white balance, save as a preset. There we go. More settings. And tracking speed, normal. Enable auto tracking. No. I don't want to auto zoom. I want you to, there you go. Leave it where I fucking left it, all right? I always speak with a shit British accent when I'm annoyed at my technology. Johnny sees this all the time. Okay, there we go. Oops, too much. There you go. Now I have to move myself up because it auto centers it. There you go. And then move myself around. There you go. And then, why am I so far forward? I should be behind my name, shouldn't I? My goodness. There you go. Now you know who I am. What time is it? All right. So I'm fixing stuff. It's fun. You invest your extra cash now. Thanks. Well, I hope you get a good return, at least on your just mental health and happiness. Because, like I said, I got news for you. The world isn't going to fucking end. We're going to keep sloshing ahead, and things are going to get better more than they're going to get worse. And at times, they're going to scare the living fuck out of you. Some people are going to scare the living fuck out of you because they want you to think they're tough. And other people are going to scare the living fuck out of you because they want you to think that person's tough. And if you don't do something, the whole world's going to fall apart. And you're right in the middle of that push. Do Michael Caine? I could do Michael Caine if I want to. I love Michael Caine. He's a fantastic actor. I saw a child playing with a ruby the size of a tangerine. It's a little off today because I just did an Australian accent, so it's a little dirty, but that's okay. So was his. All right. Anyways, so 63% is coming, blah blah blah, and there was a So people are 63% of Americans support textbook inflation to fight inflation. Again, a lot of these motherfuckers don't recognize, don't understand basic economics. Again, who's a Red Wings scientific drafter? Growing Patriots is her children's history book that she wrote. So all the right wingers think that money printer go burr was how we got into this mess. Those people are assholes. Those people need to answer the question, in all the other situations where we found ourselves in an inflationary trap, were they preceded by a fucking pandemic that destroyed the economy, where everything shut down? The answer obviously is fucking no. And you know what they were all preceded by? Were they preceded by money printer go brr? No. They were preceded by an artificial inflation in oil prices by external factors, by OPEC specifically, and in this case, Russia's the removal of 5 million barrels a day of Russian oil. Those two things are why we are in the cost situation we are in, because this is not standard inflation. This is not monetary inflation. This is not caused by monetary policy, and it will not be solved by monetary policy. Sorry, fuck you, get over it. I'm so tired of this stupid argument. They're all saying, and by the way, they'll all say this because they all want to pretend like COVID never happened and it had no impact on the economy. We'll say yes to free money, and 63% don't understand what causes inflation in the first place. Shut the fuck up. If the U.S. government printed $6 trillion and threw it at the economy in 2006, you'd have a fucking point. Again, there's no way to print enough money to plug the hole that COVID put in the economy. It's just dumb. Okay, why is Tiffany Cross trending? Because is somebody shitting on her? Has decided not to. Okay, she lost her contract after 2 years. And unexpectedly severed ties with her immediately. Well, if you're moved to the weekend on MSNBC, it's never a good sign. She was a sort of a regular panelist. I gotta say, in watching my fair share of MSNBC weekly shows, weekend shows rather, I don't know what was added to the conversation, and it seemed like an oddly segregated show on the weekends. Like it was meant to be just black people and only black guests, and it was very odd that way. When it's not, it's something you would expect from Fox News. Fox would just go, we have a black show. We put them all together in one thing, and we don't let them on the rest of the week, but we have them in they go there. We put them in the, early midday when nobody watches the fucking news, right? So, anyways, weekend host Tiffany has been suddenly let go by the network. A source familiar with the situation confirmed with the Daily Beast. So the idea is that Jen Psaki's going to get her spot. Speculation. They're going to give it to her. I don't think. MSNBC drives one. One bigot gone, several remain. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, Mark Levin's chiming in on bigotry. Yeah, well, he's an expert. So there you go. Geraldo, is Geraldo getting kicked off, whatever? Elon Musk has declared all-out war on his former staff at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Massive layoffs go into effect at Twitter with no formal notice and gut-wrenching efficiency. Musk and his inner circle have eliminated about half of its pre-Elon workforce. 3,700 Twitter jobs gone. Yeah, that's right. It's 7,400 people worked at Twitter. That's it. Company that big, 7,400 employees worldwide, multiple languages, huge infrastructure. There's that many jobs alone at Facebook just taking down snuff films. You know how many people And again, he's going to think he can automate a shit ton of this. And basically, you're going to get the user experience on Twitter is going to get more and more like a "How are we doing?" chatbot on a travel site. Yeah. There's a Bobert thing, Geraldo, blah, blah, blah. How's Anthony Weiner these days, Geraldo? It's becoming very clear those who are doing gaslighting the most. Mentally hemp jewelry maker who lived in storage units, calling him a MAGA lunatic with a hammer puts every MAGA voter in danger. It does? How? Since fucking when? Hold on one second. Tilting down. There you go. Cool. And then I've got to move this in because this is where I would like this shot, but it's going to fuck around with my other one, aren't I? I got to figure out how to like make this camera just kind of look. What? All right, that was me. That's my fault. I was like, what happened? My little hand grabber didn't let go. This camera requires a lot of computational power. It's like it's working very hard. I can almost hear it smoking. Why'd you give tech company your money or a streamer that always made no sense to me? What? I'm a streamer. What are you talking about? It's how I stay on the air. It's a job. What are you talking about? You guys know I do my homework, for Christ's sake. That's one of the reasons why I only do clips that I previously said, or I have not previously seen, that I haven't previously said anything about online or any of that kind of stuff. I avoid them, so you know. People get laid off when a new owner comes in. It's business as usual. Get a grip. You sure you're a journalist? She's one small voice. She's smiling outrage. The hardest thing to explain is the glaringly evident, which everyone has decided not to see. Ayn Rand. Animal lover. Inclusive conservative. Huh? Inclusive conservative. No DMs, okay? Stop sending me wiener pictures. I'm not a real woman. This is an AI generated photo. Conservative? All right. Yeah, no. I always trust conservative accounts that clearly have an AI created picture and misspell standard English in their bio. This woman just loves she's like the Queen Trump fart sniffer. That was the whole thing. You could still work from home, but not at Twitter, blah, blah. Okay, this is why they're mad. Home invading MAGA lunatic with a hammer trying to conjure an alternative history is Alex Jonesian. Yeah, it is. Alex Jonesian, which sounds like a person who lives in, Ojai. Hi, I'm Alex Jonesian. I run a small hemp tent making facility and sweat lodge. Because of legal reasons, you're not allowed to sweat in the lodge. I'm sorry, but you're allowed to sit outside when it's really hot. That's the best I can do. They haven't outlawed that yet. Okay. Anyways, let's see. California election news and updates. Don't forget to vote. Blah, blah, blah. I think the biggest update, polling shows bad news for ballot measures to give crucial funding to Muni and other and preserve car-free JFK Drive and Golden Gate Park. Here's why it's important for San Francisco fugitive voters. Tuesday support Prop L and Prop J. President Joe Biden landed in Air Force One at Marine Corps in San Diego. Traveled less than 2 hours from New Mexico, part of a four-state campaign swing for Democrats in tight races just before Election Day. Cool. Biden's arrival in San Diego County at Mira Costa College. Early voting suggests strong turnout so far for Democrat Will Rollins, California, in his effort to unseat longtime Republican Congressman Ken Calvert. LA Times, where to vote in Southern California. There you go. You're not going to run out of places. All right. You can vote in person or return your completed ballot at any location in your home county. This map shows locations in Los Angeles, Orange, Ventura, Riverside, San Bernardino, and San Diego counties. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel all right. The voting's happening on the west side, so I reach for my ballot and I turn it in. Oh, sorry, this is so stupid. All right, anyways. Sometimes I embarrass myself, and it's okay, because people are too serious. It's true. I know, you're saying, but how? The end of the world is right around the corner. Have you not heard the recent secondary article from the climate change IPCC report that's 3 months old but meant to look like it just came out yesterday? Don't you understand? 10% of 30% of 50% of the heritage glaciers, which are the ones you can see, are going to go away. Don't you understand that they go away every year, but still, we're going to die if people... Sorry. That's you guys know me. I'm like, I will not let anybody cross the line into doom and gloom, because once you do that, you give the fuck up. Yeah, people who are trying to talk you into where climate change is done, we're already fucked. Those are the people who they might as well be climate deniers at this point. There's no difference between someone who says we passed the point of no return, and if we don't stop oil tomorrow, we're all fucking doomed, because they know that's an impossibility. Those people are on the exact same side of the equation as people who go, what climate change? Same fucking people. They think they're different. They're not, because they both motivate the exact same action, which is none. Like the people that are motivated by, climate fear to actually do something didn't need it. We're already in process. They just do it more nervously. Economy tops election issues. There we go. Judge won't dismiss election worker suit against Giuliani. Oh, the thing with the thing. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, how terrible. How do you register and vote in the midterms? October 31st. Thanks, ABC7. Way to be on top of it. Thanks, man. Yeah, no. You've been really helpful. How do you register and vote? Please tell me they've been running that tweet every day for 6 months and it's just on auto. California midterm, it's 8. Ballots are out. Here's to register, how to vote by mail in person. What do you do if you don't get a ballot? How to get more information about the elections. Yeah. So everybody's like last minute, like, do it. Heavy voter turnout always helps Democrats. If you want women to have the right to choose, if you want to continue with infrastructure projects, and if you want rural broadband, and if you want sensible economic policy and not this nudnik like, we just need to choke the shit out of the economy and show it who's boss, then you need to vote for Democrats. You need to get at it. $100 million in campaign spending. What a shock. That's by the way, that's who Cenk is backing in this. Once Karen Bass ran, I withdrew my my candidacy effectively before I started. I was like, she's in, so I'm not going to run against her. I don't want to. But at this point, I think it's funny and ironic that TYT is backing the millionaire hedge fund dude because capitalism bad. Calls all tricks, no treats for midterm election workers. Yeah, they're just scaring people. Happening now. Sovereign Nation, oh dear, hosts a state of California midterm election roundtable with from the top of the mark at IC Mark Hopkins. Hear a portion of the conversation today. I'm sure it's fascinating. No, but really. Here, look, we all know money printer go burr. Surprise fees come under 2 weeks left. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is an interesting thing that they've been working on this for a bit, but it's pretty good. these like weird fees when you buy concert tickets and plane tickets and stuff that they don't tell you about until you're signing out and you're like, ah, fuck, okay. Because at that point you're already in and you don't have another choice, or you may have even lost other opportunities, especially when you're buying plane tickets or concert tickets because you have to buy them quickly. They know that you won't stop. Yeah, the convenience fees and shit like that. Yeah. By the way, the company that did our sexy liberal tickets in, I think definitely Chicago, maybe DC too, apparently was charging like this equal to the price of the ticket for processing the ticket. For what? I honest to God, I don't know what they added to the equation at all. And if they have a lockup on venues, that seems to be very antitrust. You should be able to just fucking buy your ticket from the venue through digital means for free or close to free. Yeah, and we used Meathook once before. It might have been. It was just terrible. The fees are nuts. Like there's no reason for it. Like it's like the easier it gets, the more expensive it gets, and it doesn't take a lot. Like payment processing? Are you fucking kidding me? Just print the tickets at home. Yeah. Well, it's in the purchasing of it. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that's about. It's very weird. And it kills live performance. Like everybody's like, I don't know, big concerts are up anyways because of COVID. People want to go back out and people are going to live shows again. Remember, December 6th, I will be at the Whiskey on Sunset doing the jam night, hosting it from this point on. Excuse me. Yeah. So even that's free, by the way. But I feel like that's one of the things that like states could do, because it's a weird charge. Imagine if you had to buy a ticket to go into a restaurant and people could just charge you a crossing the threshold fee and a sitting down fee and a waiting to be served fee and a using the bathroom fee. You know what I mean? And again, the process of like buying tickets and proving that your ticket is real has never been easier, technically. Like it does not require any of that shit. I feel like you could, anybody who knows, like who's a tech programmer or something, I would love to start a business called $5 tickets, where we process tickets for venues and concerts and stuff, and our fee is 5% or $5. That whatever's bigger, or no, whatever $5, whatever's smaller. So if it's $5 is the max we would charge. That's it. When am I coming to St. Louis? I have no idea. I don't even know what the state of current St. Louis comedy clubs is right now. Conventional horse race narrative for elections has never served the public well, but it's far more dangerous for democracy in these midterms, writes Kurt Bardell. Yeah, because it's not true. Orange County Register. So, California elections are going on. I mean, as are everybody's. Latest on the war in Ukraine. Lots of stuff going on. This is one of the weirdest things. So remember when the lovely folks at like Jimmy Dore's show or Russell Brand's been the biggest one, saying the U.S. and the CIA clearly fucking did this. They are the ones who blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. That was the story, right? Because that was the story coming straight out of Russia. Well, now the story coming out of Russia is that the Brits did it. The UK did it. Why? Nobody fucking knows. Like, there's no reason for it. It's super weird. There's no financial benefit. Like, there's no reason why they would act as a proxy for the United States to do it. The whole thing's goofy. There used to be a website called Free Tickets for Locals. Now they don't exist anymore. I wonder what happened. I used their service for a while. They probably got put out of business. Anyway, so Putin is now saying that the Black Sea, the attack, Russia's accused the UK of participating in an attack on its Black Sea fleet. Britain said these claims are false and intended to distract from Russia's ongoing invasion. They also said they did the Nord Stream, and that they are, and it's, by the way, the reason they said this about the Black Sea fleet stuff is because there's Ukrainian tracking gear and some camera lens stuff on the little drone boats that the Ukrainians made, because they are MacGyvering these boat drones together using whatever they have. And some of the tracking stuff that they've gotten that works the best, the maritime stuff, is from the UK. So they used that on the boat. And so one of them was found, and they're like, aha, British gear. Like, motherfucker, there's Iranian Fanta drinks in the trenches where Russian soldiers have been. But we know nothing about the Iranian drone situation. We don't know what you're talking about. Dude, they fucking have like 10 of them. Like, they shot some down and they basically remained intact. Like, yeah, that's it. That's a Shahed drone. Let's see. There's a couple of things too. And let me, if I may, I'm going to open up my Telegram so we go a little deeper in here, but we'll see. Give me 1 second. Abdul did this. Yeah. There we go. Currently, Russian forces, according to Kirill Stremusov, head of the Russian proxies in occupied Kherson Oblast, announced the curfew on November 4th, according to Russian state-controlled media RIA Novosti. They've imposed a 24-hour curfew in occupied Kherson. They cited the need to defend Kherson from so-called terrorist attacks. The Russian occupation government stepped up the deportation of local residents from Kherson on November 1st amid Ukraine's continuing counteroffensive. Russia ordered up to 70,000 residents within a 15-kilometer zone east of the Dnieper to be resettled deeper into the region. So they're basically just scooping up citizens and kidnapping them, I think is the word. And then let me see here. I don't want to show. This is the closest one. Yeah. I've got to scroll through something so that you don't accidentally see something too awful. Yeah. Yeah, so I showed you guys some of this earlier. These are the fight between the mobilized troops and the National Guard, because they're not being paid. They were promised like a $5,000 bonus, and they were promised like whatever $60 a day or some shit like that, and they're getting like 10. And so a bunch of them are pissed off and are picking fights. That's a Russian who just got they took his tank. They just caught that guy. The Ukrainians got that tank, and then we saw the man pads hitting this helicopter when we were talking to Philip on Wednesday. And then these are the pillboxes. Some of these folks, I can't show it to you. Yeah, I can't. So I wish I could scroll down on this guy. Hold on 1 second. See if the tall display, if I can. See these pillboxes right here? Yeah, so they've been flying these things in as like defense spaces, so that they either drop them on the ground or they dig a trench and then pop the thing down in it, and then it acts as a concrete bunker junction point between trenches. So they've been bringing them in on trucks. Pretty gnarly. And so They call them the rashists, like Russian racists, brought a lot of concrete structures to Kakovka, Kherson region, from which pillboxes are being built. The bastards, the bastages. So let me move this down a little bit. I think that'll be easier in the future. I can, when I show you a Telegram thing, I can click on it and actually show you the whole thing without getting into too much trouble. There is a really weird thing. I mean, I can't show it to you because it's just fucking awful. But apparently Russians are jumping out of windows. A lot of them. It's now a regular thing to have footage is showing up in Telegram and on Russian media all over the place of just Russians jumping out of windows. It is now a horrible trend. Hi, Burback. By the way, thanks, trolls, for joining us today. We appreciate you. You spread us out through the algorithm in a way that no one else can. So thanks for being here. But keep trying. I mean, you missed your window. Obviously, trolling worked great in 2015, 2016, and the bottom kind of fell out like a bad stock. But, you know, we appreciate you keep trying. And a lot of you have found, I don't know if Google Translate is down or something like that, but work on your just buy a U.S. grammar book. There's got to be one sitting around somewhere. Didn't the KGB gather a bunch of them during the 70s? Isn't there a whole locker full? I love how there's, and this is all over Twitter too, there's a lot of folks in there like decrying liberals and by the way, there's people in there doing decrying conservatives as well, because the idea is not to back one side or the other. In some cases, like the Saudis obviously would rather have Trump back in power or a Republican that will give deference to them, because, you know, Trump curtsied to the king of Saudi Arabia and Biden did not. All they got was a fist bump. That's definitely what you would call a decoupling. But Russia just wants chaos, so they don't give a fuck about conservative ideas either. They just try to gin them up so that there's a lot of infighting. So I don't block trolls in general. I only block people who are boring. If they annoy me because it's just the same tired bullshit. But I don't block because I'm offended. You guys know me. I don't get offended. I get aggravated, maybe. This is these are the areas that are under air raid warnings currently, because the Russians like to carpet bomb people, you know, to save them from Nazis. Yeah. So and if you're new here, the morning show has a lot of new folks or whatever. If you're ever finding yourself upset at something a troll says, don't be. You know. They have no power here. And that's the only power they have is you getting upset. If you don't get upset, you know, job's done. And they get paid by the word and the response. Oh, Buddha got blocked? How is that possible? Do you have an account with the name Buddha in it that is blocked? Is he, where was he blocked? Did somebody block him from that end? That can't happen. I'll fix that. I'll do that right after the show. Sorry about that, Buddha. What happened? We'll see. Hold on. That's going to take it. I think he was on Twitch, wasn't he? Yeah, trolls don't like sticking around this show. They're easily panicked. They're and it's, I mean, that's your gig. You know, $5 for a shit post, $10 for hate speech. Is that how it works? I don't know what the payment scheme is. We're going to have to ask them. By the way, Buddha and the Eagle, if you're watching, love you. I'll get you out of whatever jail you're in. YouTube, I think. I thought he was on there, but maybe I'll check both. Trolls sitting in mom's basement spanking their monkey. Well, I understand. I mean, my beautiful flowing locks and my tapered V physique, it's enthralling. I understand. Yeah, so video of Russian Lancet loitering munition strikes on Ukrainian. There's a gunboat, two M1 howitzers, Okay, allegedly. Yeah, and this is another thing too. The right after Xi Jinping became, got his third term. Yeah, in his most direct criticism of Vladimir Putin so far, Chinese leader Xi Jinping has warned the Russian president not to use nuclear weapons in Ukraine. He also called on German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who's currently in Beijing, to push for peace talks. Yeah, they've done that several times. They've opened the door to peace talks with Russia, and Russia has said, "Here's our floor. We will not go below this point. We keep all the area we've already taken. You give us back some of the area you took back, and then we regroup and try again." That's the entirety of the Russian peace talks. That's honest to God. I'm paraphrasing. That's not hyperbolic. And based on fucking what? Europeans behind huge air relief effort to Ukraine. The Czechs make some really great airplanes. I'm just saying. I started learning my flight lessons in a Czech light sport aircraft, and they're terrific. The new ones are fantastic. Oh yeah, this is gnarly too. There was these intelligence updates that they put out here. This is from Defense Intelligence, but this has been pretty on the money. Like, when you back check this stuff, it turns out to be like right 80-90% of the time. Due to low morale and reluctance to fight, Russian forces have probably started deploying barrier troops or blocking units. These are the people who shoot you if you leave. These units threaten to shoot their own retreating soldiers in order to compel off offensives, and have been used in previous conflicts by Russian forces. Recently, Russian generals likely wanted their commanders to use weapons against deserters, including possibly authorizing shoot-to-kill such defaulters after a warning had been given. Generals also likely wanted to maintain defensive positions to the death. Tactic of shooting deserters likely attests to low quality, low morale, and indiscipline of Russian forces. I would also say that it points to intelligence on the part of people who've been sent to the front, especially the conscripted folks. Like, the prisoners they've been gathering up are not going to race, they're not going to run away. They're there to kill people. They plan on getting their pardon or whatever the fuck, and they liked murdering before they got there, so they're fine. It's the people who got snatched off a fucking bus and have been put on the front line who are like, fuck this, I'm a software engineer. I was working at Gazprom 2 weeks ago. You guys need me at the gas facility where we could have been venting the gas from Nord Stream instead of having to blow the fucker up. Right. Carrie Rose says, my favorite Hunter S. Thompson quote, anybody who thinks that it doesn't matter who's president has never been drafted and sent off to fight and die in a vicious, stupid war on the other side of the world, or been beaten, gassed by police for trespassing on public property, or been hounded by the IRS for purely political reasons, or locked up in the Cook County jail with a broken nose and no phone access to 12 perverts wanting to stomp your ass in the shower. That's why it matters who's president or governor or police chief. That is when you will wish you had voted. Hunter S. Thompson. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's that right there. Absolutely, it fucking matters. And you know who wants you to think it doesn't matter? The people who want to subvert democracy and destroy it from the outside, and people who think it's getting in the way of their power on the inside. If you want another proof Russian colonial view of Ukraine, here it is, full disgusting. Oh, this is, Simonyan. She's, this is translated. This is a picture, so I can't translate it per se. Margarita Simonyan posts a disturbing thread imagining a Russian post-war Kiev full of Russian men chasing Ukrainian girls, living the high life and remembering the martyrs who made the dream real. The whole thread is deeply creepy. Ukraine is there to be plundered, enjoyed, taken. Russia claims Ukraine's culture as its own, labeling it Russian, genocidal thinking. Anyway, it's all in aid of the National Unity Day. This is the translated version. State publication, Russia, the day will come and we will again come to hospitable, cheerful, bright, well-fed Kiev. Our husbands will again turn their necks looking at black-browed Oksana. We will all again sing in chorus in a tavern by three tables, unfamiliar with each other, the song Nikyaka Mistyachna, the most beautiful song on earth, a Ukrainian song that every Russian knows, a song from a great Soviet film about our common war, common grief, and common pride. So it's not about the Holodomor isn't mentioned, is what you're telling me? Okay. We will once again crack the local cherries and get crushed by how full of voluptuousness and bliss the little Russian summer is. Eek. God help us when the propagandists start getting poetic and weepy. Dmitry Medvedev, who you may remember from such roles as the liberal pretend president of Russia, has written a screed explaining Russia's true goal in Ukraine: to stop the supreme ruler of hell, whatever name he's using, Satan, Lucifer, or Iblis. And then he's got a picture of himself with a gun and, I guess, Baphomet, which isn't technically the devil, but whatever. It's not, it's the shaitan, where it's the word Satan comes from, right? Let's see. Okay, yeah. Lots going on. Obviously, it's currently we're in the middle of what's like the Kherson push. I mean, it's no surprise right now that the Republicans have decided to like kind of go for broke, because they've looked around and they've seen the numbers and they're losing, and they're thinking, well, if we can get one last shot at it, maybe Russia will back us in the future. And that sweet, sweet NRA money will start pouring in again. Broke Boys? Is that a band song, something? Nope. Me when Broke Boys talk to me after listening to... Okay, it's a song, something, whatever. The Megalodon movie? No. Megan Lee Stallion is calling her... Yeah, there you go. Saw the Meg trending, automatically thought it was about the Megalodon. Me too. Yeah, I don't know what that. Yeah, couldn't care less. Okay. The long neck water system in Marin County. This one's been floating around for a couple of days, and this story's been going on for a bit. That there's Marin County is like a bathtub with only one drain. Yeah. Now, take a look at Vegas. Nobody planned for this shit. There is a 99% chance of what? This just... What in the world? When you don't let pizza rolls cool down. There's a 99% chance you've done this. There's a 99% chance they'll pick the box. Totally. Summer just ordered a new cat tree, and I'm going to install the fucking thing, and they're not going to go anywhere near it for like days. And then it'll be their favorite place. Oh my God, that's just ridiculous. What did this start with? Did it start with anything, or just people just throwing the shit in? Just another way to like host cat pictures? Yeah. Me voting in 2016, me voting in 2022. Yeah. We'd have to dig so deep to find where this shit started. Chris Matthews, oh dear God. Just turned on MSNBC, and Joe NBC was quoting Mark Halperin just before he introduced Chris Matthews. The clock set back to 2015. Apparently, he's there to talk about why the Democratic messaging failed before it even happened. So I'm just never going to get to be on that show again because I didn't get kicked off a network for being awful. I have to rethink my career strategy. Um, oh, he said the abortion issue has faded somewhat. Nah, those voters already made up their mind. They just don't need to talk about it. Okay, yeah, so that's the primary one. Elisa, you do, and you'll clean it up. Yeah, those voters are already voting and are gonna show up in lines and packs of women planning to vote and the men who love them. Um, Simple habits that will drastically improve your energy levels, according to experts. Why, thanks, HuffPost Life. Did you get these from Goop? When constantly on the go, it may be difficult to find ways to recharge. However, more often than not, low energy levels can be remedied by adopting these simple strategies in your daily routine. Even low impact movement is shown to increase your oxygen flow and hormone levels, which give you a boost of energy and is the number one tip I recommend to anyone feeling fatigued. Get off your ass and move around. Your body is fatigued because it thinks you're hibernating. That's right. Get up, get moving. Right, move your body throughout the day. Shocking, I know. Try to incorporate exercise into your day, even just a small amount. Research has shown that daily exercise and movement are essential to boosting energy levels. Agreed. 3, limit the amount of caffeine you consume. When you're feeling tired, it may be tempting to take a third or fourth cup of coffee later in the day to pick you up. However, drinking too much caffeine can have a paradoxical effect, leaving you lethargic. It can also, by the way, if you do the sort of 2-3 cups of coffee, follow it up with a water, because some of the lethargy caused by being over caffeinated, don't ask me how I know this, is caused by dehydration. A glass of water will be a bigger pick-me-up than another cup of coffee. Because what is your body? Look, we have talked about this before. All anger is based on loss and or the potential for loss, and all sadness is based on dehydration. Not all of it. Depression, a lot of it, if it lasts longer than the natural arc of a real feeling, is largely caused by dehydration. Because what does your body tell you to do if there's food, and like hunger is anger, dehydration is sadness. And so if you're feeling, that's why some people get hangry. The idea that you get hungry so you're angry. The reason there's a genetic component to that. There's an evolutionary component to that, because if you're hungry, you want your energy to go up. You want to be able to attack something, steal somebody else's food, climb a tree, pull something down, bite an animal while it's fighting back. You need an angry energy to kind of make that happen. Hunting and gathering requires a motivating factor. So you tend to move in that direction if you're hungry. If you're thirsty, however, you can scream at the sky all you fucking want, and you can yell at the river, but if there's no water, there's no water. So your body just says shut down. So fatigue and depression and all those kind of things are often triggered by a natural reflex, which is dehydration. So you need to drink some water. Of course, it's overly simplistic. This is what you try first. Look, anytime you have a technical problem or an emotional problem or a social problem or a problem with your house, but it's like anybody who's ever done live music for an event or has set up a rather complicated either network or computer system knows that there are several things that can be causing the problem. Some of them might be very complex. You might need to update the drivers on something. Your logic board might be fried. You might have gotten a faulty piece of gear that's deep inside the computer and takes a lot. But most of the time, the first thing you do is check the cables. Make sure it's, turn it off and turn it back on. Make sure it's on. Make sure that each cable works. Those are the baseline. So solve for those first. If it's not that, then you'll know sooner that it's something even bigger. If it isn't, and it's most of the time it is that thing, you'll solve it quicker. Just telling you. Again, vote and vote. You'll feel a lot better. Avoid skipping meals. While it's totally normal to miss a meal, making a goal to regularly eat nutrient-rich meals and snacks throughout the day can increase your energy levels. It can also make you lethargic, and people overeat anyways. Depends on the caloric content and the cleanliness of the food that you're fucking eating. Fasting has a great record anyways. Oh boy. Are you chronically? Yeah, and then at the end of it, chronic fatigue could mean that you're sick. You could be sick. You know, it's probably not. You don't need to exercise and eat right, move around and do things. You're probably sick. But by the way, this article will be followed by one about anxiety. Oh God, HuffPost. Daft Punk, sure. Are they making a comeback or something? Oh, they did a song with somebody. Right. Cool. I don't like the music. I don't care for it either way, but I just the outfits are cool. As a Kiss fan, I appreciate the consistency. Shaq apparently is in the news because he's not in enough commercials. Shaq's been bought and paid for. Fuck you. He's a Mason. That means he's a good man. I happen to be a Freemason. Shaq's a Freemason. We're brothers and we're on the level. There you go. Bought and paid for. Get the fuck out of here. It's part of the Illuminati, blah, blah. What, you know, the Freemasons, because they like public libraries and they pick their leaders democratically and everybody's equal. Oh, boy. Good Lord. By the way, this shit, Tucker Carlson flips out over Rex Chapman.
In our democracy.
This, I don't understand right now what happened to Tucker Carlson. I mean, he's always been an asshole. That's not the surprising part. It's this weird kind of performative ridiculousness that he goes through. Like his whole show right now is him vacillating between like laughing hysterics and toddler-like anger. Watch this clip. This is Rex Chapman. He talks about Rex Chapman in this one. And because I guess he's hurting for content around because the Paul Pelosi story is dying because it's real and there's no there in the conspiracy theory that they want to push, but he's got to keep pushing it. So
they want you to shut up. They always want you to shut up. No questions in our democracy. But
And
there
it
are
was
still
instrument-
questions about
Hold
what
on.
happened in Nancy Pelosi's house last Friday.
all right. No, they don't. People don't want you to shut up about asking questions. It's these insinuations and constant it's because of this. Like the outright libelous lies are the part people have a problem with. Ask all the fucking questions you want, but listen for the actual answer. Crazy, I know.
Friday night. A lot of people don't want you to ask those questions, including
Nobody cares if you ask questions.
former CNN Plus star. Is that an oxymoron? Yeah, it is. We're saying it anyway. Rex
Yes, because Fox Nation is killing it.
Chapman. So Rex Chapman, not clear what he does for a living, but he's on Twitter, and in a long and bizarre series of posts the other day, he announced that if you don't buy the official storyline, then you think Paul Pelosi must be gay, which apparently, according to liberals, is now a bad thing. It's bad.
No. Attributing someone's a person being gay when they are not, when you intend it to be a pejorative and you intend to insinuate they were engaged in something either criminal or untoward or in this particular case, committing adultery, which apparently you guys don't give a fuck about since Trump got elected, because obviously, where is Melania? Where's she these days? She's not even, don't worry about that at all. That's not a thing. You're just gonna notice that she's fucking never with Trump anymore. Apparently, stating basically that he's either, that that he's gay or that it was a gay lover or that kind of stuff is a way of A, putting down San Francisco, putting down gay people, putting down Paul Pelosi, diminishing the attack that happened on him, trying to erase the MAGA connections that this dude who attacked him obviously have. And then, of course, saying that he was being, he was engaged in an adulterous homosexual affair in an attempt to cover for the fact that you guys directly drove this fucker to attack an old man with a hammer.
Bad to be gay, according to liberals. What we can't...
No, it's not bad to be gay.
Can't keep up. But Rex Chapman's pretty sure...
But it's true that Tucker Carlson can't keep up. His entire life and career, even though he was born on third base with a silver spoon in his mouth, has been, hey guys, wait up.
Sure that Nancy Pelosi's husband's not gay because Nancy Pelosi is a smoke show. And by the way, it's embarrassing even to read this, but this was on Twitter, and we're quoting. I love Nancy Pelosi. Full disclosure, like huge crush. Huge. From way back. Beautiful, yeah. But big brain. Big brain. Huge confidence. Sexy personified. Then Chapman posted several pictures of Paul Pelosi and Nancy Pelosi together. All of which does make you kind of wish CNN Plus were still in the air. That guy had a show. Imagine a full hour of that guy telling you that Paul Pelosi couldn't be gay. Not that it's a bad thing, but it is really a bad thing. And we know that because Nancy Pelosi's just hot, smoking hot. Who wouldn't watch that? Like
the weird, sarcastic anger that he dips into is fucking gross. Yeah, I mean, this is the extent of it. This basically he's mad because Rex Chapman chewed up his talking point and spit it out. Because it's going nowhere. Like, they were hoping that would cover for the whole, like, underwear storyline, all that shit. Glenn Beck, Dinesh D'Souza, this prick, they all tried to float it. It didn't go anywhere. The dude admitted in a, after he'd been Mirandized that he was there to kneecap Nancy and kill him, kill Paul Pelosi. It's just shit. Just like the whole thing fell apart and they're all mad because they ended up on the side of pro hammer attack. What's this? Banana pudding variety multi-pack now shipping. Get out of here. Deliciousness. What? Banana pudding variety. I don't need a variety pack. I just need banana pudding. By the way, banana cream pie, tops. It's one of my top desserts of all time. Banana cream pie. Chocolate-covered strawberry is my number one. That's my go-to. People get mad because it's less chocolate, more fruit. And it's fresh fruit. It's not even like cooked or jellied or any of that shit like chocolate-covered cherries or some shit like that. They get very angry with me. But when it comes to ice cream flavors, I'm a purist. Vanilla ice cream with chocolate chips or chocolate, streaks of chocolate in it, like stracciatella gelato. Oh, come on now. Come on. And the other one is banana pudding and banana cream pie. I'm very banana-y. Good times. I'm a fan. I don't need it. I can't do butter pecan. I have a history with butter pecan. My heart was broken by butter pecan. And I will, yeah. Don't get me started. I had one chance to kiss this girl in high school, and we made out, and we were both eating butter pecan ice cream, and it was weirdly gross. It was very disappointing. Yes, I do. Okay, and yeah, anyways, more Tucker Carlson, whatever the fuck. Like, it's so lazy. Merrick Garland's obviously trending. We're almost there. We've got a half hour left. And Eric Garland, Merrick and Eric. Should appoint a special counsel to investigate Trump. Now there's an adequate precedent for multiple crimes, even more appropriate. DOJ mulling potential special counsel if Trump runs in 2024. He'll do it just to call their bluff. There's this idea that people around Trump are telling him that the only way he can stop them going after him if he's running because he can use the narrative that they're trying to attack his candidacy. And he can pull his candidacy in the spring and go back to taking money from the super PAC. But he can't afford it. There's Kherson. 57th Brigade in Kherson region received some gear from the Ukraine aid ops. Very nice. Another Georgian fighter, Levan Saakashvili, gave the ultimate sacrifice defending freedom and dignity from Russian invaders. He bravely died in Kherson Oblast. Glory to the heroes. Poor guy. These guys. Kherson will be free. Yeah, this is happening currently. 3 bodies of Ukrainian civilians executed by Russian terrorists were found and excavated by the investigators in WCPT in the Kherson region. The bodies contain the signs of violent death, obviously shot by the Russians during the occupation. Another dude who should have turned right instead of left. Destruction of an entire column of Russian equipment with the help of the Stugna P. This is there, and like, look at that guy just stops and starts backing up. Like, wait a second. Liberated Arkansevke. Okay, by the way, Maria Avdieva is, is in these areas, and she's one of the reporters who's, speaking from there, who's Ukrainian and otherwise. And the UN put out this thing like, stop targeting women journalists yesterday, and it's really ham-handed bullshit post. Like, no journalist should be targeted. And they were pointing to the fact that there were 6% of the reporters killed in 2020 were women, and 11% were women in 2021. And we don't have the numbers for 2022 yet. Okay, one of the reasons is because there's a lot more women covering war zones and on the ground, especially in places like Iran, where literally it's a woman's movement. So therefore, it's not surprising that more women are in the thick of it, and that more women in Ukraine are also covering this at the front. There's a war going on. There's more war going on than there was in 2020. Hot war, actual death. So, and like I said, you're either saying that women shouldn't be involved in frontline reporting, or you're saying that the men that died don't fucking matter, which is even more gross, because you're talking 94 to 89% of the reporters killed in the last 2 years have been men. Ugh. And it's just like, target the men all you want. Just don't target the women. Well, first of all, the women are there because they want to be, and they know the danger, and they're not stupid, and they're right there alongside the men, and they deserve all the accolades, support, and appreciation that they get along with everyone else. The percentage of women being killed in these situations is equal to, in many ways, the percentage of female reporters in the area, if not lower. So, like, it was just a dick move by the UN. Like, they were like, we need to say this. Like, stop targeting women journalists. Like, motherfucker, they don't care. They're not targeting women journalists. They're targeting journalists, period. They're targeting the truth. They don't give a shit who carries it. And it's very, I just think it's disrespectful to the women who are now going to the front, that more of them are going to the front. And that more of them are getting killed because they're more involved in the front of this. It's just fucking gross. Russian flag removed from the main administration building in Kherson. Well, that's a big move. Shit. Look, they took it down, it looks like. Oops, hold on. I have to scroll this down to you. Look at that. See that? Ooh. They didn't want it. They didn't want somebody to stomp on it, so they were under orders to take it. Yeah, and then there's the 24-hour curfew. Ukrainian flag is back on the Mala Sidamnyuka village in the Kherson region. Get up, be careful, man. You didn't fight to get all this way just to fall off a small roof. The little girl in Kherson to tears of the day. I don't want to be shot with bombs. Oh, kiddo. Fucking hell. And then these are the people greeting the soldiers who are moving into the area, because they've been under occupation since fucking February. A city bus passed by an abandoned Russian checkpoint for the first time, and people are cheering as they're on the bus. Yesterday, Russians abandoned the city. Yeah. and there was a really bad checkpoint in that area, and the bus had to stop there every time, and they would check everybody. And this is the first time that bus has been able to go past that checkpoint. Wow. Crash of a Russian jet in the area of Bakhmut. Boom. Eesh. Yeah, these guys are filming and watching it from far away. Poland is transferring PT-91 Twardy tanks to Ukraine. That's what these guys are. That's a lot of them. It's a loop, but that's a lot. Oh my God. Police found the bodies of 868 civilians, 24 children in deoccupied Kharkiv Oblast, Donetsk Oblast, and Kherson Oblast. Kharkiv said, head of the operation response, the Department of National Police. The police also documented 34 torture chambers in the liberated territories. And then, they're getting pushed back. The readjustment of Russian defenses in the south bank of the Dnipro is considered likely in the near term. Ukrainian forces are ready to exploit Russian vulnerabilities during what will be a complex, difficult, and increasingly chaotic Russian withdrawal. So the only thing that the Ukrainians would be rushing faster into the Kherson region and all this stuff, but they just don't want to run into booby traps or get caught in ambushes that are just meant to take out shit, because the Russians who are there to do the ambush or to trigger the booby traps are going to die in the process, and the Russians don't give a shit. House Sparks, why no closed captioning? It's a good question. It should happen automatically on YouTube, but it might be because I used a different I had to use a different stream key to set these up. Yeah. To set up this particular stream. I'm trying to get ahead of it so that you guys can see that the stream is coming up, and so it says, you can load in before the show starts in the chat. Why no closed caption on Twitch? Yeah, I'm going to check on that, because I think it might be the button is grayed out. That's weird. I don't know. That isn't something I did. I didn't make a change in it. You see it on Facebook? Okay. Yeah, there's nothing on my end that where I've shut it off. Ukrainian investigators are going door to door in Kherson region in formerly occupied towns and covering stories of rape by Russian soldiers. Jesus Christ. Sweden handed Ukraine the world's best 155 millimeter Archer self-propelled gun. Woof. Hi, Sweden. Orcs went swimming with the tank near the Kavaskovia hydroelectric power station. Oh, is this where their tank fell in the water? Like it drove over this and went off the edge? Jesus. And by the way, I will point out holes in my own awareness and knowledge when it actually happens, which is rare. But up until this conflict, I had no idea Ukraine was known for its watermelons. That's not what would have come to mind. But now I do. Aw, kitty boy. What's he doing? A liberated cat. Just want him. I said left, Yuri, left. Nice, Leslie. Way to go. Vote, people. Vote.org. Show up. Vasily Vasilievich returned to the ruins of his home after deoccupation. In Kherson, the house will be rebuilt, but scars of war crimes will be hard to heal. Jesus. That's all. They smashed and gutted everything. They didn't let anybody in there. Infantryman lived here. They would eat at a local college. So they basically squatted in his house while they were there. The Russian soldiers did. And then they ate the food at the local college. Jesus. Ukrainian biolab mosquito tanks are spotted near Kherson. Russia is calling another UN meeting. Oh, this dude. Watch this. Watch right behind him. You see this guy? Watch, it'll happen again. This is a Russian like thing leaving. Look at the guy trying to catch up and just eats shit as they're leaving town. He's trying to catch a ride. Voted blue. Nice job. Your vote was counted. Yay! Let's see. The disposable drone hits the tank. There's a lot of those aerial tank shots. Russian kids living in some impoverished, distant region of Russia, hundreds and hundreds of kilometers away from Moscow, ready to sacrifice their life for rich Muscovites. Oh, yeah, they're lining up to join this thing, or at least hold up their signs. Ugh. Fucking why? I notice how all the anti-war nudniks are not raging about the conscription of Russian kids and young people and citizens. They just don't give a rat fuck. I mean, even if they think it's justified, which it isn't, but even if they believed that, they can't believe this part is right. You know what I mean? Just nasty. Anyways, oh, by the way, I keep forgetting to reset. You're watching Hal Sparks' Mega Worldwide, the morning show. Morning's Mega Worldwide. I'll remember the name of it. And if you like the morning show, we kind of look at the trends and we kind of go through them. Oh, look, I made myself too tall in the picture again. It happens. We just get together Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the mornings and look at what's trending and have a conversation about it. It's a little more laid back than the afternoon show, which goes at a fairly hot clip, as it were. Writing me in on Tuesday. Thank you very much. There's nothing wrong with writing me in the mayor's race in LA, by the way, if you want to. Although I will say now that there's going to be some seats on the city council open, and that's where the real power is in Los Angeles. And again, this shit is happening, and if you don't vote or you're voting for the Republicans, you're taking all of this for granted. Yeah. One second. Let's trying to find something real quick to show you guys. It's the Kiev Independent. No, that's not it. Is it Spravdy? Because I have this one site that I go to that's all in Russian and I can't read it. I need to get a bunch of this shit like translated. Hold on. Wanted to scrolling. Hold on. Turkish expert York Isiga said not. Yeah. So this, I want to. Yeah, here it is. So this dude. Let's see if I can click on it.
How the blockade is continuing? Russia does not have naval assets. At the beginning of the war, Russia had naval assets in the Western Black Sea. So far, what we witness is the ultimate collapse of Russian armed forces. Their Black Sea Fleet commander is fired. They cannot bring out their ships. Their ships are getting hunted in their headquarters. How they are enforcing this blockade?
Right.
The blockade, even the use word of if they had military assets, okay, they have nothing. They have nothing to enforce, really.
Yeah, I agree. So remember when I said that? Remember, guys? Yeah, that's France 24 interviewing a Russian expat dude who lives in Turkey, talking about the naval blockade of the Ukrainian grain, and wasn't I just telling you? And I'm just little old me. I'm just me in my office with 3 monitors going at once and 2 cameras, just trying to soldier through this. I don't know what to call my autobiography to write. Do you have an early notification on for Mondays or something special that day? No, Stephanie, I've started scheduling the show so that it takes it. I don't know. The algorithm in YouTube and Facebook and others takes scheduled shows and boost them more so that more people will see them if you schedule them ahead of time. And instead of just throwing it together right before, I've decided to start doing that, incorporating that more often. And so it's sort of a pilot program to just do it for the morning show because the afternoon show is specific. And then as I bring in guests, I want to start putting that notification in it. So upcoming on Wednesday, this is happening, that kind of stuff. So Hal, the Hal who knew too much. You can never know too much. The Radical Optimist is my suggested title. I like that as well, Dennis. That's good. My next foster kitty must be named Liberty. I insist. I think that's great. Hal Sparks, man about town. By the way, Bloating McBallsack over here, the dumbest military leader ever to live on planet Earth. So much so that Napoleon is actually going, you know what? The pressure's off. Has basically pulled back from the idea of using nukes entirely. He says, yeah, we're not going to do that. Like I said, they wouldn't. Because he knows. They couldn't even attack that grain convoy because it would have the same response as if they nuked part of Ukraine or bombed a NATO country. Same shit. Yeah, I mean, am I wrong? Botax Blad. Again, I don't wish Putin on I don't wish ill on any human being, and I would never wish Putin on cancer. Sorry. I think it's terrible that cancer has to go through living inside this prick. It's terrible, but hasn't cancer been through enough? The entire world is trying to eradicate it, and now this? The irony that this asshole is counting on Biden's moonshot to save him. See, now their homes, cars, businesses, and any value has been stolen by Russians. Residents of Kherson region will be deported to the frozen Yamal region of Russia with nothing. This was confirmed by Serhiy Klan, deputy of the Kherson region council. By the way, that is where that it's close to where that nuke sub, the Doomsday sub, is parked. It's like right over here. Oh my God. These fucking Christmas ornaments. Ah, that's amazing. You guys, so good. That's so hilarious. I want them too. That's so funny. They don't have one with a washing machine? That's literally replying to an account called Hope Putin Die and Bayraktar One Love. I guess so. Jesus. Fuck Putin. Fuck Russia. So the repetitive trolling of right-wingers and Putin's cocksuckers is necessary. Fuck yeah, like oxygen. We got to check this person out. Look at it. Big. First of all, we like them because they have a cat that looks like Maddie as their main picture. And HIMARS. Where do they live? In your head. Political said they were on sale. Hey, Fanya, look around. And then this is probably hitting a mine. Nope. Oh, is he just run? He just. Uh-oh. Oh, that guy just shot the thing with a javelin. No, that's just an anti-tank weapon at close range. No, dear. Oh my God, whoever did this. This is.
Партнеров все-таки стараемся культуру дипломатических переговоров выдерживать, хотя, потому что, все-таки переговорный процесс мы.
Oh my God, that's disgustingly hilarious. I can't tell if the guy's drunk or has done himself in. U.S. military plane painted a penis in the sky near a Russian base. I love my country. I love America so much. Oh, God bless our boys in blue. Ah, that's so great. A KC-135 Stratotanker refueling plane remained for almost 2 hours east of Cyprus on Tuesday in front of the Syrian base of Tartus, a stronghold of Moscow. That's so funny. Oh dear. Russian state media. Finns are dying of cold due to cutting ties with Russia. Finns. I love me some polar bearing. I'm not ready to skinny dip it though. I don't need that kind of burns. Can any gammon flag shagger answer? How can the migrants be in an overcrowded detention center and in their free 4-bed council house at the same time? What? Ooh. So a blue check on Twitter will be as meaningful as a badge on Herschel Walker. Gotcha. Whoever fuck Putin, fuck Russia is, they are definitely following a lot of my cohorts. Oh, look. There you go. They retweeted my Elon Musk to-do list. There you go. Don't share leaked photo, because that was a big one, right? There was a trend, don't share leaked photo. And thanks, fuck Putin, fuck Russia. Good for you. Hi. I tweeted this, Elon to do, turn Twitter into an Alex Jones incel Reddit shitpost haven to lunch with Kanye. And then they got Julia Davis, he, she, I don't know who they are. So there we go. As someone who lived through communism, I can vouch for that. Okay. To those worried about a more socialist country, you'll still be able to go to 5-star hotels and luxury restaurants. Only the workers cleaning your rooms and cooking your food will be able to pay the rent, and their kids won't grow up in poverty. Not exactly North Korea. Yeah, because it's not socialism, but we get there. All right. Oh my God. New Russian model made with Russian parts. That's hilarious. They're just fucking with people at this point. Look at this. Shit. HIMARS. What air defense doing? Shit. We know you were a fella for a long time, Mark, Carrie, and Harrison, too. They put him in a Vishivanka. This is Cat's like, don't bring the drama over here. Cat's like, pat. Come on, freeze. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, and this is the other thing. Like I pointed this out as well. Natural gas in Europe just turned negative, and we pay through our fucking noses. Well, you will for a time, because they bought. The reason it went negative is because they bought it all up while it was at a high price, and now they're overstocked. This is in Iran, I believe. Yeah. The students are all standing up, and the girls are taking their hijabs off, and they're like knocking over these like division barriers between boys and girls in the schools. Ugh. Czech Republic, an unknown person turned the pedestal of the Red Army soldier monument into a washing machine. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my God. See, comedy will save us all, people. Comedy will save us all. Music is the joy of life, and comedy is the great pressure valve. Never kick somebody for making jokes. And sarcasm is not humor. It's what idiots have instead of a sense of humor. What the fuck? It's an owl. Videos of genetically modified birds coming out of biolabs operated by redacted and also redacted, just like Russian propaganda said. Oh, the Russians said that the biolabs were creating Ukrainian super soldiers and animal hybrids. Oh my God. This is so fucking funny. Like Russian or Ukrainian turkeys driving people out. Just fucking attacking turkeys. Oh, this is so good. He's like he keeps stabbing him in the leg. It's so funny. Oh, this is beautiful. It just it keeps chasing him. It throws its the fist. Ah, oh, so sweet. Oy, no. That's the hard part, though. If you go scrolling through stuff, oh dear. Oh, that's the crying filter. It's like from Snapchat. If you can throw that on somebody, yeah. This douchebag. GB News, whatever, yeah. Putin baiter. White House new drama queen, Covfefe LaFlame. Ew. Quit it. Oh yeah, this is the Ukrainians have gone and built a sauna. Yeah, they made a sauna in their trench. Somebody was talking about that the other day. It's for real, so they can literally sit in a sauna and yeah. Oh shit, that's actually pretty nice. That's gross. It's great. What are you talking about? Yes, I thought that was Michael Bolton and he'd cut his hair for a second. When a man loves a woman. Can't think of nothing else. Uh-oh. Oh, this is the the Russians training. They're the Chechens. Hilarious. Oh, and this is the woman who, the Iranian who competed without her hijab. She's been missing. Let's see if there's an update on her. Give me 1 second, because that was like that was a couple weeks ago. Let's see. Oh, sorry. News. Yeah, she's reportedly under house arrest. Iranian rock climber Elnaz Rakabi thanks supporters on social media as official denies she is under house arrest. And then Iranian climber Elnaz Rakabi reportedly under house arrest is the next story. Apology was forced. Man. It's beautiful to see what's happening in Iran. It's sad that there's only so much Americans can do to support it, because you don't want to overshadow. We don't want to overshadow the. Hey, dumbass. We don't want to. This is an uprising of their own making, and any like it's almost like the more Americans cheer it on, the more the tankies jump in to act like, you know, we're running the show. Yeah, there's like, this has been the last couple of weeks, just the women in Iran. What Joy Reid is up because they're like, if she left, is Joy Reid next? Because they were talking about how Joy Reid's contract might be up, but I don't know if that was part of the conversation. Wouldn't it be funny if it turned out that Joy Reid was like, look, I know you guys are grooming Tiffany for my spot. I'm not here for it. So it's her or me. Yeah. So I want to look up something real quick. Currently, the Iranian protest stuff that's going on, and the latest hijab protests reflect society waged anger at regime that trashes rule of law and human rights. Man. Again, if you take your democracy for granted, fuck you. This is why we don't skip elections. This is why we don't phone it in. Because there are people in the world right now who are being beaten to death in the streets to just have the right you blow off. I have... That shit will have no quarter here. How some of the videos are too big for your frame. Yes, I know this, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Or are they shitting on him? Translate tweet was this. Joe Biden, don't worry, we will liberate Iran. See what I mean? Like I'll give you an example. Here you go. Don't worry, we will liberate Iran. Translated above it. Because they want you to think that this isn't the Iranian people doing this. This is this is America forcing it on them. Yeah, I don't think so. Boy. Yeah, it's hard to scroll through some of this stuff because it's fucking brutal. And it's heartbreaking and beautiful and inspiring and scary and cruel all at the same time. No, it's happening in schools and universities, protesting despite a fierce crackdown. Yeah, they're fighting for their freedom, and people are like, I don't know. And like, I have to be inspired to vote. There's your inspiration. It's November 4th, 2022 in Iran. Because they're trying to buck religious control over their society, which is something that you can argue the Republicans are shooting for. Now, is it the kind of control that exists there? No. It'll be, religious fanatic light. But tell that to somebody who's in the group that will have their rights destroyed. Your inspiration is your bodily autonomy, and mine is yours as well. Yeah, this is happening. This is this is becoming increasingly like autocracies are inefficient and shitty ways of governing, anyways. But before, it was easy for them to do that because life was shitty enough that it beat the alternative. Like a shit sandwich beats eating shit because at least there's 2 pieces of bread involved. That's the autocracy argument. You're eating shit, but at least there are 2 pieces of bread one on either side. And Iran, before the Islamists took over, was a much more open society, much healthier. It was impressive on the world stage. And could be again in a fucking heartbeat. Have you guys ever seen the old Persian architecture? I almost showed it the other day when let's see. Yeah, here you go. The Windcatcher Towers. Let's see if I can pull up the images of this. So, obviously, hot weather is nothing new in that part of the world. The Persians came up with this architecture that catches the wind and funnels it down into the bottom of the building to cool the place off. And it was incredibly effective. And a lot of these buildings still exist in the, farther out in the desert as sort of leftover. And it's not like they're rubble now. They're still in pretty good shape. All of this stuff was done well before the Islamists took over. This is old Persian culture, Zoroastrianism and all that. Yeah, it's impressive that you could actually, using the Bernoulli effect. That's exactly right, Misanthrope. And the Islamists came in and shut all that shit down because you can't have anybody smarter than you. They might eventually outsmart you, and then so you got to kill them. President Joe Biden on Thursday told supporters, "We're going to free Iran," after audience members appear to call on him to address Iran's ongoing protests. This is from HuffPost. Told supporters, "We're going to free Iran," after audience member. Okay. Told supporters, "We're going to free Iran," after audience members appeared to call on him. Don't worry, we're going to free Iran. They're going to free themselves pretty soon. I think what he meant was we're going to have a free Iran. They're going to free themselves pretty soon. Biden made the comments as supporters in the crowd held up cell phones displaying the message, "Free Iran." Biden administration has faced down criticism from Iranian American activists who are calling on the White House to abandon its efforts to resurrect the Iran nuclear deal because of the protests. No, it's a squeeze, I would argue. They're trying to put the squeeze on, going, "Hey, you guys could shape up, but we're not, but you can't do this. We're adding stuff on." Whoops. Oh, there's the students driving back the police. I don't know how you're a cop in that situation too. I mean, you don't really have a choice. Okay. So this guy's fun. I'm just going to say that this dude looks like a Peter Sellers character if Peter had lived. We're over the hour already. Shit, I got carried away looking at Iranian stuff. All right, I got to go do some work, and I will see you guys this afternoon for the regular show. Don't forget, tomorrow on the radio show, Philip Bittner will be joining us for the second hour as per usual, as will Johnny Million during the whole show. And then, of course, this afternoon, I will finish up the part of the Trump rally. I might do it in slices because there's a bunch of other shit I want to cover as well. And there's just too much to get to. Good God. So much stuff. Anyways, I love you guys. I will see you this afternoon. I'm sorry if I go over sometimes. I appreciate those of you that stick around, and those of you that don't. You're totally cool to just bow out whenever you got to go. Just give a thumbs up on your way out the door, and don't forget to subscribe. The algorithm tells me, my analytics tell me that most of the people who watch my show don't subscribe. So if you could subscribe, that would be great. That would be so great. Wouldn't it be great if you subscribed? It would really help out. I'm just saying. Subscribe. It's good for your health. All right. Take care, and I will see you guys soon. Love you.